Well, as everyone knows by now, a bunch of base Canadian truckers have put a spanner in the works for old soy boy Justin Trudeau. They've been protesting in the capital and at the border with America for the past week or so, with the government and others scrambling to stop copycat ones in France, New Zealand, and we even had a small one here the other day. Now, none of these other ones as it stands holds a candle to the Canadian protests that have so far seen both state and federal governments literally laying cable now that the peasants are banding together. Trudeau, the absolute cretin, decided the best thing for him to do was fake bat flu and run away from the protest before upping the rhetoric from a safe distance. Then, of course, it was likely him who pressured GoFundMe to cancel the truckers' donation page and possibly told them to give people's money to other people. Yes, the fact that GoFundMe tried to divert funds to charities that they had a say in before backing down in my eyes is blatant fraud. If it's not that, then it's gotta be theft or some shit. Yes, now apparently they're doing refunds and all of this, but the fact that they try to do it means that shit pit should be boycotted by all and literally forever. Obviously, that was pretty incredible, it's gotta be said, but now it's maybe getting even more deranged than it was then. Reports today suggest that anyone protesting there will get a $100,000 fine and actually a year in prison to go with it. So, like China or North Korea standing against your government will see you bankrupted and thrown in prison just for good measure. Obviously, it's bloody insane, but it also shows how desperate and scared this snivelling shitweasel in Canada really is. I mean, they even threatened them with the military last week, but the army was like, no, deal with it yourself from what I have heard, so they've now gone down the prison route or fine route and prison, whichever one it is. Here in the Telegraph, though, it states Canadian truckers face $100,000 fines as entire province of Ontario is plunged into a state of emergency. Yeah, the state of emergency is that the peasants are banding together and these little tosspots can't have that, can they? But it's gotta be said, it should also state there that they're being threatened with a year in prison alongside that fine. It does state it further down, but to be honest, I don't really need to read through the article itself. I've already summed it up at the start of this video, if I'm honest. This news article, like many others, is just there to milk a story and fill it up with complete nonsense to make them longer. This one here is no exception. Now, one thing this article doesn't talk about, and I actually haven't seen many media outlets talk about, especially not in the UK, is the fact that a former minister who helped draft the Canadian Constitution in 1982 has taken the Canadian government to court, over its bat flu derangement syndrome. This is something he announced on Jordan Peterson's channel because the media wouldn't cover that he's taken the government to court and indeed will likely win. As I said, he drafted the law, so can literally tell them what is what when it comes to not only the legal side of the law, but the spirit the law was made in, which is being abused by the blackface-wearing soyboy fuckpig Trudeau. So, to finish up, between the truckers and this court case, I would say that Trudeau is right in the shit, because if one doesn't win, the other will, and in fact I reckon both might do at this point.